Howdy folks, welcome back. I would like to express my absolute gratitude for the people that have recently subscribed to the channel. That means a lot to me. The channel is growing. Thank you very much. At any rate, let's get into this because I've been so excited about getting this project done. Cold day in the shop today, and it's going to get colder, but hey, my parts came in finally. So I've been modifying this Leatherman Surge along the theme of like what would be allowed on the show alone, the History Channels alone. Because in the past, other contestants have done some really cool multi-tool builds, and I wanted to have one of my own, so I've been building on it. And of course, I've been building it in such a way that it's different than anything else that's ever been shown on there. Like, it's not like I followed a plan or anything. It was just like, oh, this would work, this would work. So today, the parts came in, the Morakniv blade. This is carbon steel. And what I'm thinking I can do is modify this blade to fit instead of the Surge blade. And it might require a little bit of welding, but we'll see. And certainly going to require a bit of grinding and working and cutting and that sort of thing. So we've got my, sorry for the camera wobble, but Dremel bits, and we're trying to charge batteries. It's so cold that the batteries for the drill and the impact don't want to charge. But got the heater going here next to me, and they appear to be charging, at least one of them. Anyway, so another thing that I did to this Surge that I've kind of been hinting at in the past couple of videos, and this is a really neat little trick, is I managed to fit a Victorinox tweezer in there. Now, what I did was I actually notched that out. So I took that end cap off, and I went in behind it and just used a cutoff wheel with the Dremel and just cut, stripes, and then just connected the stripes just by wiggling things back and forth and cut this end out so that this tweezer fits in there and is, like, it's not going anywhere. And that goes in the slot where my saw is, which would be the serrated knife blade, because I've replaced that serrated knife blade with a small saw. Let's see, what else? I've done a couple little things to the inside tools on this side. I took the can opener off and put this small screwdriver, and this is kind of a placeholder. I'm not sure that that's what's going to stay, but I mean, having a small flathead screwdriver, fairly useful. I thought that I could make that into a smaller awl, just a small version of this one, but I don't use the awl that much either. The pry bar, it's a really useful tool. I kept that. In fact, I took and bought another one, put it on the opposite side, and made that into a small, I guess, sheep's foot knife blade. And then we have the chisel, the gouge chisel combination, which I also made from a piece of 1/4 inch Allen wrench. And that thing's wicked sharp, and that fits into their screwdriver bit holder. This is what we're starting with, and what I'm trying to do is get it to fit onto there and open in such a way that it locks open, and when it closes, to make sure that tip is not hanging out, because you don't want that, because you'd snag that in your pocket, and it wouldn't be much fun. So I want that tip to definitely sit down in. That may mean taking a little bit off of this area here, and I may have to weld a little bit, because what I'm looking at is when it closes, when this blade here closes, this little place here is what hits, right there. That's where your interference is, so that the blade isn't dulling itself every time it closes. So I may have to take the welder out and build up a little bit of area here, just to make that happen. Also, I would like the blade to be as long as possible, and I noticed that the Surge blade is about maybe almost a 1/4 inch. It could be a 1/4 inch longer, and why not? If you've got the blade length, that'd be great. Just add that to it. The other thing is, I'd like to make it so that the Morakniv logo is at least mostly intact and visible. This way, you can see it when I open it up, because it's just a little sentimental thing that blade is vastly superior to this, and I made this happen all by myself. So this steel is quite a bit better than what's on the Surge now, and This only cost me like 12 bucks or something. I just had to wait forever. The first seller that I bought it from, didn't ship it, and then I bought it from somebody else, and then the post office managed to not deliver it for 2 weeks. So let's get onto it and see what this thing looks like once I get everything fitted. I thought I'd turn the camera on. All right, so what I've done here is taken the knife blade off, and that's the easier side because it has the bolt instead of having the entire shaft. And when I did the saw blade, was that back edge is very important. So actually leave a little more metal there than what you think, so that when you get everything assembled, the liner lock engages to that flat. And if it's too small, just by a hair, the entire blade will wobble. So better to cut and then file it to finish it up. Keep making test bits until you get it. And then I've just taken the old blade and overlaid it over top of this, set this in here, and determined where I need the center of the hole to be. So that, doing with the blade a little bit longer than the old one. So yeah. All right, let's get to it. Oh, the brand new Milwaukee drill bit. I ain't even touching this stuff. Started a little hole and then it just kind of quit. Well, I've been at it for like 15 minutes. Drilling this stuff is terrible. Used a Dremel, kind of a cone-shaped stone, and unfortunately I broke it. I did get through, but when I did, it snapped in two. So I'm back to this. Where's the camera? There we go. Kind of bullet-shaped bit here. And it's getting through it. The problem is that this is a little bit too wide, and I don't want to step this down in there too much because it'll open up the hole too much. But the Milwaukee drill bit didn't touch it. I've sharpened it twice, and it doesn't put a dent in the steel. So it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. But yeah, I've got it clamped up pretty good here too, because last thing you want is that knife blade twirling around, as I've learned the hard way, just drilling metal once, holding a piece. And I already done like 15 of them that day, and no problem. I had to drill 4 little holes in it. Well, the drill bit snagged on the last hole, and that thing became like a throwing star and just shredded the inside of my hand. But anyway, yeah, so make sure you clamp your stuff. And then don't get in line with it, because that thing's like a razor. If your hand was down here and that thing did catch, yeah, would not be good. So, all right, I'm going to keep at it and see if I can get this hole opened up to the proper size. Alright, now that I've punched through it, I found this other bit, and I didn't expect it to do much. I thought it was a wood bit. It's this kind of pointy, I don't know where I got that thing, but boy, she gouges. I mean, that thing just goes right along the edge and opens it right up. So I'm really close to there. I just got to really pay attention, not make it too big, but I about got it now. That thing is wicked. I wish well, I guess I couldn't have started the hole with that, but for opening it up, it's doing a wonderful job. And yeah, I know I got some bluing. It's in the pivot. It's probably going to be fine. So, and if I fail at this, so what? This is how you learn lessons. So, finally got the hole drilled through there. The Leatherman hole is actually a metric size, and I don't know what size it is. This is a standard drill bit that I just used. It's a 7/32, I think. Yeah, 7/32. So this hole is very close, but not quite. It's a little bit small, and the tool won't quite push onto the barrel there. So I'm going to open it up just a little bit more using that Dremel bit, that pointy one. This thing, it's just ripping right through it. I'm pretty amazed with this thing. I think it must be carbide or something. Come on, focus. It's not showing any signs of wear, and just absolutely eats that steel. So really hard stuff. That stuff there is really hard too. All right, open it up and get it to fit, and then I'll start tracing this pattern out and cutting this off until I get it. Yeah, all right. Another reason to leave a little extra there is because the Dremel winds up tilting a little bit, and you wind up getting not a straight cut, but a little diagonal. So another reason you want to give a little more meat there, so you can clean that up and not having worried about cutting into something that you want to keep. So now I'm going to take this up to the 1x30 sander. So again, just trying to take and get to the profile here using this guy. And I may have to use something else. Also, I've got a couple snows so I can keep this cooler. I'm going to notch that with the Dremel. Taking some more material out of there with the Dremel, just kind of, that'll help speed up the belt sander process. Yeah, not too hot. That's looking pretty good. Expect I'll have to build up with weld on the bottom, but for now, I'm going to try an installation and see how it looks, and see how much I need to take off the back side yet before I can get the lock to work properly. Hopefully we've got the orientation correct, and this goes well. Alright, so it's looking really good in the tool. One thing that I need to do is take that little hole there and make one on this. So what does that do? That interfaces with the liner lock. See that little divot there, the little thing that sticks up, so that when it's closed, the knife doesn't want to open. Like, it gives it just a little bit of tension there that you have to override to pull it up out of there. And obviously the other thing I'm going to have to figure to do is either put a nail nicker in here or whatever to be able to pull the tool open. But we'll cross that bridge in a minute. Let's get this in there first. This is not going to be as pretty as this one probably. I'm just going to have to just use this stone and make a little impression there. But we'll do what we can. Check this out. Okay, it's on there. And so I've got the notch in the back for that, the liner lock to help keep it closed. And just, it is so good, so smooth. It locks exactly the way I want it, like bingo. That will need a little bit more tightening down, but we're going to have to take it off a couple more times. So when it closes, it actually goes down in. So it's together. More knife blade is on there. So I just added that not completely through nail nick, which can be one-handed pretty well, about as well as the old blade. Right? One hand operation, locks in the right place, does not have very much movement. There's a little bit, but that's okay. Little bit. Yeah. It fits. It just clears. So the one thing that I'm going to do is just take a thin piece of leather and glue it down inside of there so that as the blade closes, it doesn't bottom out. And it's not bottoming out hard now. I don't think that's really going to be an issue, but that'll help protect the blade instead of having to weld something to this. One thing that I'm not too terribly keen on is just how far the blade comes back. Like right there's a possible place where you could accidentally nick yourself. So I guess, just, it's a blade, think about it. Keep your fingers out, not in line with the blade, and you're going to do fine. But it operates smoothly, and the blade stays closed. Yeah, I'm impressed. And yeah, that's so much better metal than the original Surge blade. And I do wish that Leatherman would, offer the Surges with a better blade on it. But in the meantime, we can make your own. So the cool part, sorry about the camera. The cool part about this tool is it now has tools from 5 different companies. So we have the Harbor Freight Gordon belt clip, Morakniv, a steel file, steel as in chainsaw brand, the end of which I have made into a drill bit. So you can actually take this thing and drill into a piece of wood. This side I made into a rasp, and of course this comes out with the T-shank holder to be able to sharpen the knife blade if need be, although it'd be pretty aggressive on it. And then we also have the Leatherman Wave saw right here. That's the, yeah, Harbor Freight Gordon has a small screwdriver that I added to this, but the rest are Leatherman. And then of course the Allen brand Allen wrench that I used to make that guy. Was there something else? Oh yeah, Victorinox tweezers. Right there. So I'm naming this the Leatherman Merge, because it's like the merge of all these different tools. And because Morakniv and Surge go together to make Merge. Alright guys, have a good one. This thing's awesome. I'm super impressed with this blade, and I can't wait to take it out in the field this weekend and see how it does. So I'm going to be building a shelter in some pretty cold weather. Stay tuned. Have a good day.